Okay. Has this even worked? I can't even see the screen. Do I click on editor? Hello everybody, good evening. I can't actually see my screen at the minute, which is weird. I'm not sure how to get my screen back. There we go. Hopefully that's working. See, I'm testing because I've not done this through Streamlabs before. So, there's a possibility that while this is happening, things will be coming up on screen. I'm home early. I'm about 5-6 minutes early, so I'm going to hold on, have a bit of a cup of tea, and have a chat and have a look around the screen and check that everything's... Because I don't even know if my microphone's working. My microphone is working. Good evening, Ali. Now, that should pop up on my screen. Yeah, I am early. Let's see if I put that above the cameras, whether or not that will pop up on screen. Now, it should, hopefully, fingers crossed, the chat stuff should start popping up on my screen up there. That's what I want to happen. I don't know if it's going to work. Change that from top chat to all chat. Yeah, well, I decided, Ali, because of using this new software. Well, it's not new. It's been around for ages. Dan's been using it for fucking years. But this is the first time I'm using it. So... yeah, we get to see what's going on and what's going wrong, and why is my chat, for instance, why is my chat box not popping up? Oh, there we go. You can just about see it. So if I move that, that should help people see the chat more. Right, see, these are the things that I've got to figure out. It's like, where do I have things on my desk, and where do things get in the way? So it does pop up slowly, and it does eventually come through. See, there we go. And even Sparkles type something. Oh no, it doesn't stay up. It doesn't stay up. But I can probably edit that. I'll be able to change that for next time, so it can stay up and it'll scroll, so people can see what's been said earlier. I mean, it still stays in the chat, but it doesn't stay up on screen. Just makes it easier for me to glance very, very slight. So there are lots of new things going on. So yes, thank you for everybody who's joining me. All 3 of you. Hi to the person who's not said hello yet. Tonight is Lazghul Twakka. Now, I started Lazghul a while ago, as I said. So, I'll talk about him while I'm going through. I've got lines all over my screen, and it's weird. Right, there we go. That sorts that out. So, we've got Lazghul now, and he's got the big hammer on this arm, the big hammer on that arm, and I've glued in something so we can stick legs to him. So he's not going to be legless anymore. He's going to have legs. See? But with the shoulder pads and all the armor that he's got, he's very imperial. He's very, well, he's Grey Knight. Completely ripped off a Grey Knight. But I need to sort certain bits out. So we have sections like here, where I'm going to have to put a shoulder pad. Or 2, because of this large section here. Pardon me. So I'm thinking 1 shoulder pad over the top of that bit, and then layering up the shoulder pad almost like plate armor. We're put the other one over there like so, and that will finish up the shoulder pad there. Now this is the scariest instance for me, because now Ali and Sparkles are talking to each other. Fuck knows what's gonna happen. I've got a feeling I'm gonna end up in an inflatable tent on top of a mountain with dwarves singing songs around me. Who knows? Between you two, who fucking knows? It really is. It is quite an odd one. I can't see my mic. I don't know. Cam 2 is going up and down like nobody's business, which is me. That's right. Right, so we seem to be okay with sound. You've not done anything yet, Ali, but between you and Sparkles, I'm sure you could think of something to keep me in or out of trouble, depending on how you wish to put it. Let's see, where do we go for music? We're not going to go for music today. Should we go for music? No, we're not going to go for music. We're going to go for cleaning bits up. So I want to remove see a little nubbly bit there, that little tiny. Wow, you can see my wrinkles on that camera, can't you? Okay, that's coming up on the screen quicker than it's coming up in the chat box now. What the? I don't know what's going on in this world anymore. Things just don't work like they're supposed to, do they? So let's just do a little bit of cleaning up until we actually get to past. Right, we're at past, so we can start properly. Good evening and welcome to Lazy Mini Painting. So lazy, I started early this time. I'm Laz, if you haven't met me before. I'm the person who sits in front of the camera and tries not to chop his fingers off. Doesn't always work, but I try. And as we've already been talking about, we are going to try making a Lazghul Twakka, which is a kit-bashed Dread Knight into a very large war boss. And we need to get him on his legs first. God loves a try, and God knows I'm trying. Or at least try your patience anyway. So we need to glue his legs in, so he can stand up to some degree. And that should be fun, because these legs wobble and move and don't stick in place. Good evening, Twisted, or afternoon, morning. We're in afternoon for you, I believe. What's that I've just dropped on the floor? I've just felt it. I've just felt something drop on the floor, and I don't know what it was, because it was too close to me. And now I know what it was. No, it wasn't. What was it then? It weren't one of the shoulder pads. What the fuck was it? You see, Twisted and Graham have both got organisational skills, so they can have nice, neat desks with paints in order and things like that. Whereas I'm more like Lazghul Twakka's weapon choice. I'm blunt force trauma. No organisation. Just bish, bash, bosh. Yeah, I'll do. Boom. Let's get it done. I'm definitely much more blunt force trauma, where they're precision instruments. Well, yeah, I don't know where. I know what I've got. I just don't know where it all is, which is quite scary for Sparkles because it does amaze her the fact that even though I've got all these models, apart from the Imperial Guard, I know exactly what I've got. The Imperial Guard are the only ones where I don't actually know fully what I've got. But even then, I know I've got 6 Lehman Russes, a Baneblade, 2 Chimeras, a Taurox Prime, at least 30 Guard Infantrymen, 2 sets of heavy weapons platforms, a command squad, 2 Commissars. So it's not like I don't know any of what I've got for the Guard. It's just I know mostly. Yeah, I know what I've got. I know what I've got on my desk and where it is. All my spare stuff's up there, out of the way. All the stuff that I'm likely to want is here in front of me. For the easy method of doing it. Right, let's see if we can glue this chuffer's legs on. Come on, chuffer. What is it with his legs that aren't twisted in the right direction? And not going in the right places? See, I've got to get a body in here yet as well, which should be fun. Found that bit though as soon as it fell off. Made sure I got that bit. I watched that bit as it fell. Right, so let's hold him in place there. It didn't, Ali. It didn't. Now, it cleaned off the bits that I was trying to clean, but apparently there's a very, very small little section that you can't get anything in, and about the only way you're cleaning it is an ultrasonic cleaner, and I don't possess one of those. I mean, the closest I could probably get is stick it on the washing machine on like the highest spin and watch it go. It's probably the best I can do to an ultrasonic cleaner at this moment. Right, there we go. He's staying on a bit. So now I can start looking at these shoulder pads. So now these I've nicked off the Hellbrute. Hellbrute has become quite useful as it comes to bits parts. I mean, I've got the entire hammer from him for a start, so that helps. So I'm going to pop that one to cover. And I've just knocked him off because I didn't let him set long enough because I'm an idiot. Alright, so hold him there a minute and put that bit on, which isn't going to work because I need to give it some plastic to actually join onto, because plastic glue does not work on paint. So I need to make sure it's got some kind of plastic to grip to, and do all this while holding his leg in place. So let's hold that. Well, I have tiny brushes, but even my tiny brushes are too big to get into. Even that paperclip is too big to actually get into the bit that I need it to. We're talking like 0.01 millimeters. This thing's only supposed to allow air through it. And the person I got my airbrush off let paint get into it, so, and let it dry and let it crust up, and that is why it is not in a functional condition anymore. So about the only way I can think of right now to get access to an ultrasonic cleaner is to go over to York, That's the only place I know that's got one that I might have a chance of using. See, it's not entirely fecked. I mean, it is. It's fecked up, but it's not completely fecked. Let's say if I can get to York, or if I can convince somebody from York to come over and say hello to me, then I stand a chance of actually cleaning it and fixing it. As it stands at the moment, though, no. It's going to be a very expensive ornament on my desk. You son of a horror-to-fetter. You go on there. You go on there. And hold, please. I'm just going to throw a load more glue down there just because that's a big join point for it. And then some more on that join point and some more around there. Right, so that should be the shoulder pad done. So we should now have good evening, Lee. And yes, Ali. Well, it's not just Graham. There is the gentleman that Graham has spent the weekend with at the UK Games Expo, who I could possibly ask as well. I have more of a chance of getting a yes from Graham, I think, just because Graham talks to me more. Not saying that Dave will say no, it's just Dave's much busier than Graham as a general weekend rule goes. Good morning, Buzzard. If you only just got up there, mate. Has it been a late one for you? Let me just hold him in place now. So yes, Graham was over at UK Games Expo with Dave from MS Paints. So that was his little weekend. Sounds like a fun weekend, actually. If you like that type of thing. Too many people, personally, for me, but well, I didn't go, so it doesn't really matter for that, does it? Right, now I have quite a few things that I wish to put on this to make it look a little more used, a little more battered, a little bit more scavenged. So I'm going to be using some of these brass pieces, namely these ones with bullet holes in, and some of the grates. Now these require super glue to attach because they are metal. You can still clip them out with your normal pair of snips. Don't worry about that, it's very thin metal. I was wondering what that was then. Sparkles is playing a game and mining away behind me. All I could hear was crunch, 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 and it wasn't coming from me. So, those are the 4 plates that I wish to use that have bullet holes in them. I'm just going to bend these to snap them because, well, it'll be easier. And then I can snip off and... You are fucking kidding me! Right. That's gonna need pinning. His hands come off. His hands come off? Oh, come on. Somebody's taking the piss out of me now. Right. So that's not gluing onto there. And that's just freaking come off, which isn't supposed to happen. That was supposed to be glued in there. Where's my snooper glue? There's my snooper glue. Make sure I do actually have some snooper glue left. Yes, I do. I do have some snooper glue left. Right then. The good thing about this is you can bend these. That's kind of why I wanted to use them. Right, if I snooper glue that up in there and then snooper glue all that around these legs, that might work. I know snooper glue is not the real word, but it's what I intend to use. Oh shit. You really have got it in like quite a bad area around there, aren't you? You seem to get everything twisted. You get the bad rain, you get the bad fires, you get the bad... all of it. And I've got the super glue on my fingers. Which I don't want. Get off. Ow, ow, ow. I was taking skin with it. That was taking skin with it, that was. I was still taking skin with it. Ow. So I just want to get this brass plate in. And then I can try putting the leg back on again. And hopefully this brass plate will help hold the leg in place. And then try and put the shoulder pad back on. This, for my first kit bash, this is going fucking awfully. Just so people know, this is not going well. This is not how kit bashes are supposed to go. Kit bashes are supposed to work to a degree. Right, so I want glue around there. Oh, I'll get that. And pop it in there. And hopefully it's going to stay in place this time. Right. This time I'm going to put snooper glue on both of these. And I want to push them into position. I'm going to sit here with my hands. And I'm going to grab him by the hips and fucking hold on for dear life. Yeah, I've glued myself to various things. I've even managed to glue stuff to my tongue. That was an interesting one. Right. I'm gonna need something to hold this somewhat. So we get to sit here for a few minutes while the glue dries and my hand can't fucking move. Yeah, I had super glue on. Basically, I've managed to glue my tongue to the back of my teeth before now by having super glue on my hand and putting it near my mouth, and it get on my tongue and touch my tongue with my teeth like that. And because human fluids are the quickest way to get super glue to set, as soon as my tongue touched my teeth, that was it. It was done. It had dried, it had set, it had cured. And she was like, and it wasn't fun. Sparkles is sat behind me laughing because she remembers. She remembers me gluing my tongue to myself. So it is possible. I don't advise it. It's not fun by any stretch. Right. Please let that glue hold. That's not even touching that bit. So if I can get this piece to be the joining piece without gluing my fingers to it this time. Slide it up slightly. And then pull my finger off the leg where that glue bit's attached. What bit have I just fucking knocked off now? Oh no, that was an important bit. That was his head. I just knocked his head off. Sorry about this. What else has just fallen into here? Something rather important. That would be the needle for an airbrush. Let's not lose that. And what else did I knock off? Was that it? I think that was it. Good evening, Francois. Good evening. Yeah, you're watching me get stressed over a plastic model now. Because it just won't stay in fucking place. Sorry. Is the 07 supposed to be someone doing that, by the way? Because you put it every time, and I'm just guessing that it's supposed to be someone waving. But I'm not 100% certain. Because I'm old and technologically fucked. I mean, it's took me, what, best part of 3 years just to figure out that Streamlabs, the very first thing that I installed, but never used, is actually the thing I've wanted to use all along. I installed this first, just didn't know how to use it. I learned OBS first, which is kind of the arsey way about of doing it, but still. Ah, shit, you snapped off now. See, what we need to do is I need to bend it. I need to get it bent and curved. Do you know what would be a good idea? You know, getting something that's actually curved. Like a brush and trying to curve it around that. Ah, so it's a... Fair enough. Good evening, Graham. You've been... Actually, Graham, you've been in conversation already tonight. Do you happen to have a sonic cleaner? It probably would be better to leave some of it to dry, but I want to get some actually done tonight. which in the basis of leaving it doesn't help. So even though, yes, it would probably be better just to put a piece on and then leave it the fuck alone. Does sound like a good idea, doesn't it? But yeah, I'm not. I'm going to try snooper gluing things into place. So maybe if I put it the other way around, that might work better. And then put that around. I kind of need this brass piece to go on because it's part of the structure. It actually holds the leg in. Ah, son of a... That's what... Again. How many times can I glue myself to one thing? That's a rhetorical question, people. I don't want an answer. Oh no, that's the wrong way around. Right. Now I'm going to try leaving him that alone. See, an elastic band's going to put too much pressure on. I know it sounds daft, but I can't put much pressure actually on this because the leg's just going to ping off. So I am having to kind of add glue to where I need it. Then I can leave him there. Hopefully I can pop his hand out. And then scuff around it a little bit so I can get some plastic back on it. And then I can glue this back in place as well. Lots and lots of gluing. Good evening, Bill. Well, morning actually. Is it morning, afternoon? I'm not sure which. I can never remember which part of that great big whopping country you're in. So I know it's either afternoon or morning. You're not as late as I am. I know that much. Right. Stay. Stay. Okay, now where's his head? Right. I'm in two minds with this guy now. Pardon me. Now, I can either just glue his head onto the top bit here, then put something in the middle to fill out where the marine was in his chest. Well, 3 PM. Oh, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Early enough for you to still be getting nice and relaxed before you have to do anything. Now that you have finished your last project and you are, I believe, looking for a new one. And for some reason you put ultramarines up. Ultramarines. Just like the vanilla of vanilla. I mean, even... Yeah, I would even go to far as to say Imperial Fists are less vanilla. And, well, they're yellow. Unlike bog standard bolt guns and things. Right. So let's see if I can move him now. See, I am thinking of putting that up in that section, just to fill out where the marine once was. But I also have these little bits, which I was thinking about doing the same thing with, just filling out that section. But I'm thinking I like the arc bit more, the bike bit, just because it's more arcy. And it does look more like they've ripped it and kit bashed it a bit more then. I can feel it calling in the air tonight. Hold on. Go on, Bill. Give that. Oh, I can actually get you up on here now, Bill, because I'm using Streamlabs. Oh, Graham. I can only get one person up though because I'm using the free one. So I'm only allowed one friend at a time. Mongolian death metal? What the fuck is Mongolian death? Right, I'm going to have to type in Mongolian death metal now, aren't I? Mongolian. That helps if it actually types, doesn't it? Mongolian. DEA. Mongolian death worm? What? That doesn't sound fun. Oh, the Who. Let's find out what Mongolian death metal sounds like. If this is shit, blame Twisted. That's my excuse. If it's shit. Throat singing and electric guitars. Okay. This is The Who with Wolf Totem. I'm going to get a copyright for this, aren't I? Yeah, well. Fuck it. Right, are you staying in place now? Yes, you are staying in place now. It's surprising what happens when you glue brass pieces to it, isn't it? But now I've got to find somewhere else for all the other brass pieces to go. How have I managed to get super glue on that? I don't hear any death or any metal. It's spelled, yeah, no, yeah, that way, spelled that way. So where do I want this piece to go? I want this piece to go over one of his shins there. I'm waiting to hear the metal bit. Okay. Very tribal. Yeah, what he said. See, that's not bad. See, even I could keep up with. I knew when the drop was coming then. That was nice. Yeah. Another brass plate. Do you want to know something, man? This isn't bad. You've heard this one on Dan's channel. Well, Dan's the one who told me I needed to use Streamlabs, so this entire stream tonight has been influenced a lot more by Dan than I realised. Not only has he told me how to use this, so you all can see this, what people are saying popping up on the screen, but apparently he's also redone this music before me. In fact, he's probably done most music before me, in fairness, but I'm going to put that slightly off centre. I just think it'll look better off centre. And completely forgetting about the very basic rule of remove some bloody paint before you do that. This isn't bad at all, this Twisted. Yeah, it's definitely got some Highlung in there, hasn't it? And that's another one that I've been listening to recently. I'd never heard of Highlung until my friend mentioned to it, and now it's just popping up bloody everywhere. Yeah. Thank you for this one, Twisted. I'm enjoying this. See, but I can't put too much of named music on, otherwise they do crack down on me. Start calling me a naughty boy, and I can't do that, you know, things like that. So, yeah, a little bit of Mongolian death metal is not bad at all. But because I do like quite a varied selection of music, the next one is going to be Samurai Spirit meets hip hop. Just because I wanted to know what it sounded like. It's like, why the frig not? See, I do like groove, so I quite like hip hop. So yes, if we mention Dan on this channel, we are talking about Daniel Arias from Arias and the Nation. And for anyone who's thinking, what the fuck is Laz on? Why has he got this? Because somebody put me onto Mongolian metal, and now I've gone to Japanese hip hop. Like you do, you know. I'm sure Dave loved it, mate. I'm sure Dave loved it. Don't forget, Dave's got quite a varied selection of music himself. So it's not like he was just gonna sit there and listen to the best of one thing all the way. He probably would have complained. I know I would have. He would have just sat there and all we had going on while we were driving down there was Beyonce. Then I would have whinged like a motherfucker. Have you not got anything fucking better than this? I'd rather sit in silence. But then again, Dave's much more polite than I am, so... The link in the what? Let me just have a look for you, Bill. There should be, if you go to the channel profile. Ah, crap, I didn't mean to do that. 3 more links. Buy Me a Coffee should be working. Yes, Buy Me a Coffee is working on my profile. So if I copy that, close that, get rid of that, go on there, mute myself because I can't stand my own voice. That should be the Buy Me a Coffee link. It only lets you buy up to 3 coffees, so you cannot donate too much. But if anything you donate onto there will go towards my Add source. Test audio. Yay! Right. So I've had to add another audio capture device just so it can pick me up this time. Let's see, is it still going to work if I go back on here and press play? Right, so that's desktop audio, and I don't know if I'm working anymore. I have no idea. Yeah, I should be working now. Let's just turn my desktop audio down a little bit so it's not as loud over me. I mean, it should still come through a little bit, but awesome. So I like the music to be on as well as be able to hear me because, well, let's face it, the music's better than I am. Right, now we're going to scrape off some paint. So we can get a nice connection for his head, which is going to go right up here. Dum dum da da dum 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 da da dum. See, it's really easy to get this. So that is where his head's going to go. No, no worries. Yeah, I'm not going for a Streamlabs Ultra. This is a Streamlabs free version, and that's the way I intend to keep it. Because I don't pay for shit. And I don't mean Streamlabs is shit, I just mean I don't pay for things if I can help it. Free is my favourite price tag. Dum, dum, dum. So that is Lazghul Twakka's face. He's coming along, isn't he? I just need to start having a look at the back of him now. Well, no, I need to get his head to glue on first. Which is only just connecting at the bottom down there. I might be better off with super glue on this, you know. This is a super glue project. This is not a plastic glue project. This is most definitely a super glue project. Oh, cheers, Bill. Thank you. Thank you very much, mate. Graham. Guess what, mate? I'll be putting an order in soon. But thank you, Bill. Thank you. In case anyone's wondering, Bill's just donated some money via Buy Me a Coffee, which I'm thank you very much for. But as stated, any money that gets donated through that will be going towards third-party prints and people who print models. So yeah, I think we'll be seeing maybe a Space Bear or two or a couple of Space Dwarfs soon. Yeah, Bill's just given me a donation, and in the spirit of those donations, I go buy more models. But I've just bought one, so next one goes back to you. Yeah, Sparkles is full. See, Sparkles is aware of this. She's listening. She's watching. Bill's too far away to get a slap though, so he's okay doing that. Yeah, ours have gone all plastic as well now. So not just euros, but pounds as well are plastic. See, it's not bad, this Japanese hip-hop stuff, but... the thing is, she does have access to do that, she just doesn't. Sparkles has access to my full YouTube account, she can put whatever she wants up there. She just doesn't, which is... I suppose that just goes to show how much she trusts me on it. Or doesn't give a fuck, either way. It's one or the other. It's either trust or not, just not caring in the first place. Yeah, like buy me a coffee, yeah. Yeah, that won't be legal tender anymore. We've changed all that now. Exactly, Bill. You cannot hide from it. You love it, you accept it, and you become one with the plastic. I'm so glad all the blades are near me right now. Afraid not, Francois. I'm getting married, mate. And technically, as far as brides go, I am a virgin bride. So I'll get married. It's alright. Ain't nothing been inserted in me. So we're safe. We're alright. I can wear white. I won't look good in white. I'll look fucking horrendous in white. But yeah, I can wear white. Technically. Don't think I'll look as good in the dress though. Sparkles will definitely look better in the dress than I will. I think pretty much everybody's ever met her will attest to that. So yeah. Sparkles has taken a downgrade. Cheers, mate. That's Captain Baptin, by the way, who insists that Sparkles has taken a downgrade. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. I know which side my bread's buttered on. If it came down to an argument between Francois and Sparkles, I know which side I've got. I'm on Sparkles' side because I'm not fucking stupid. Okay. So let's see how Lazghul Twakka is coming along. Slowly but surely he's getting there, isn't he? He's looking less and less Dread Knighty and more orky. Now, how do I get his big spiky jaw thing on? Oh, not just on stream, Ali. In the middle of the street, while I'm like here, he looks right over my shoulder and tells me she's too good for me to my face. No, but right in the middle of fucking Belfast, he stands there and tells me that. It's like, yeah, cheers, mate. Thanks. It wasn't even like he went round. He literally just looked over my shoulder and told me she's too good for me. I mean, what do you do when that happens? Right, so that's where his jaw's gonna go. Put far too much super glue on. Because how else do we make sure it's gonna stay? No worries, Bill. You take care, mate, and thank you for calling in. You have fun with, I believe, your streams later on tonight as well. If schedules are still going on as they should. If they're not, then I'm guessing you're not streaming tonight. Come on, you fucker dry. Yeah. New Zealand ads for paint decking. It's a unique one. It certainly is. And it will have you at least smiling if not laughing. And if you don't find it funny, then you're dead inside. Because even my 6-year-old found it funny because it sounds like a rude word. Right, that's not set yet. Why isn't that set yet? That's a bit disappointing, that. The red thing hasn't glued in. I do want to get these nice tusks on though. Because they will help just bring out that arc bit. And they just don't want to go in. Okay, at least the red bit stayed now. Let's put a bit more super glue around the teeth bit that I want to go around his neck. And for his jaw section. I do have another one to go around the back of his head as well yet. So it's not like I'm gonna... You love ChatGPT. I've never actually used it. I understand it's supposed to be quite a good tool to use, but I've never used it. Right, now where's the other bit that I wanted to go around the back of his head? There it is. Oh, let's go around the back of his head. Which is why I use the horny one on that one on here. See, I've never used it, so I don't know how to. I've used some small AI stuff, like write me some music and things like that. Which it did, and it was okay. It was nothing great, but it was okay. There we go. Right. So that's that and that. And that actually fits quite snugly. See, you're supposed to be able to do all sorts of stuff with it, not just like cartoons, edit videos, create thumbnails. I mean, it's supposed to be a really useful tool. The problem is, I'm not a very useful tool. So we don't mix very well. See, the part of me that's like going, yeah, you should really get into it and learn how to use it, and it'll make everything far easier. And then there's the other part of me that decides to call its channel Lazy Mini Painting because I'm bone idle. That means, yeah, I'm not learning ChatGPT because that requires effort that I could be putting into models. So I'm going to put the effort into models. Yeah, let's not try doing that with a piece of brass, yeah? Let's use the snips and try and get it really, really close if we can. Alright, so now we're pretty much done with a lot of the front section. I'll bend this so it goes round a bit of the back section. Good job I've got two sets of these. So bend that round my finger there now, and hopefully that's going to fit onto that section there at the back. Which again is going to require snooper glue. I'm going to use a lot of snooper glue tonight. Right, now are there any blatantly imperial parts that I would like to remove? Like that skull there. Which I probably should have done before I attached the brass bit or did any gluing to start with. So let's just get the snips on it. And we can always put a brass one over the top just to make sure we can get it nice and done. So let's snip a brass one out. Well, that didn't go on centrally, so it means we're going to have to cut out another one so I can kind of have them overlapping now. Wasn't the intention, but because it's set quickly because I used human pieces. Only 1 or 2 molecules, YouTube, don't worry, I'm not hacking people up. Right. I'll cover this one, Graham. What Luch does and what Graham does are the two opposite ends of the spectrum. Luch uses an FDM filament printer. Graham uses a resin printer, and there is a big difference in wait times and qualities. So as good as Luch's are, and don't get me wrong, Doritos are pretty good. They will have the complaints that I had with the bases. They will have layer lines, they will have things on them that require a lot more cleanup than resin. Now resin is its own little separate ball game when it comes to stuff like that. So there we go. Now things are starting to stay in place now. So we now have Lazghul Twakka with his face, and yeah, that's the thing, because I get distracted easy. Thank you, Graham. Yeah, FDM is great for terrain, but it's not so good for fine detail. Pardon me. So ideally, yeah, for models you'd be using what Graham's using, and for terrain you'd use what Dorito uses, and then take it, then you filler it and sand it down from there, because there will be a lot of layer lines that even if you've got like a 0.2 or a 0.3 mil nozzle, you will still get layer lines, and you have to fill it in, otherwise, like I had with the bases where they just pop off and they come apart, it just doesn't work as well. Right, are there any more bits that I can pinch from the Hellbrute spruce? There's got to be bits that I can pinch from the Hellbrute spruce. See, I don't want anything overly chaos. So, a lot of it, maybe not. But basic pipes, they'll work. Just to add extra gubbins and stuff, looks like it's not originally there, and to look like it has been looted and custom bashed together by an orc rather than a human. So let's cut out all the pipe bits and see where we can get them to fit. Well, I would like them to fit somewhere quite nice. Here we can. See, this isn't as funky as I would have liked it to have been. I might go back to the Mongolian death metal. I say that, it's not bad. Take care, Lee. Thank you very much for joining us, man. Hopefully you'll be able to catch us on the next one as well. In fact, Lee, do you have a sonic cleaner? Because you might be easier to get to as well. It's only a train. Train, nip over, an hour, done. I'm also going to clip off this chain bit here. Oh, no, that's what I wanted to do. Now I've just remembered. I wanted to snip that chain there, and I wanted to snip that bit off there. I just remembered something I wanted to do. Because the length of the Chaos Hammer is shorter than the Imperial Hammer, I want to kind of average them out a bit. So I'm going to extend the base of the Chaos Hammer. if I can. I'm just going to have to cut a little bit more off it so that the chain can join up. Just little bits, little tiny modifications. Again, just to stop it looking like it was the old model, the original model that it was. We just add extra bits in. Oh, we try to. As best we can. I have used plastic glue this time, so I'm going to have to hold it. There we go. Nice big. Excellent thing. So, I know I've had another donation that I've got to wait for to clear. Once that's clear, I'll be going back through Rogue's Den Hobbies. Right, let's find out where we can start putting some of these pipes. No, that's just falling off. God dang it. Stay. That piece coming out there. Try and get lots of pipe work in here to try and hold it up. And make sure certain bits look arky. Oh no, I don't think anybody I know has a sonic cleaner. I'm gonna have to use a washing machine. Take this skull off the bottom of this one, off the back of this one even. And hopefully we can get a bit of a wire going on the back of his hand there. Or I'm going to be better off trying to get it to go in there. No, I don't think it's actually going to go anywhere. Nope, it doesn't want to go anywhere. So that leaves me with a final modification that I know I'm going to be doing tonight. Problem is, this doesn't tell me how long I've been going. It's to clean the airbrush tip. Because, yeah, just leaving it in White Spirit hasn't worked. So I need to clean the airbrush tip. Actually, this one might work because I've just clipped a bit off there, and that's fresh plastic as well, so hopefully that means this will attach to the bottom. I've been going an hour and 10, not counting the early start. Yeah, he's blocked up really bad, so much so he's backfiring, and all the paint's coming out of the paint tub, out of the little, you know, the paint cup. So with all the paint coming out of there, it's not helping. I mean, I've got 2 airbrushes that work, but I've been given a Harder and Steinbach, and I would like to use that. There we go. Right. Shall we have a look-ski at how we've done? Yeah, do it. Just don't call anything actually Warhammer, just say it's compatible with certain game systems. The only thing you actually want to put Warhammer on is generic terrain they can't get you on. Right, so now we have Lazghul Twakka now with his head guard, a couple of boss poles, shoulder pads, both hammers. Now I've added to the bottom of the Chaos Hammer with an Orc big chopper handle and a chain, and I've removed the skull off the bottom of the Imperial Hammer and added a looped chain. So both hammers are now considerably longer, and it no longer looks like a standard Nemesis Dread Knight, which is kind of the point. I don't want a Nemesis Dread Knight. I want a great big fuck off arc. So I just want to get that to stay in place. That's kind of holding it in place. Yes. So, I didn't know how to, I wasn't sure how long. You may get a bit of a bright ka-ching in a moment because Sparkle is about to turn the main light on, which is a clever thing for her to do considering what she's about to be doing. See, there we go. So he is considerably bigger than a Dreadnought, or the old style Hellbrute and the old style Dreadnoughts. He does have an arc head. He has 2 hammers, and he has some extra plating. Pardon me. So let's just grab this out a second. Good old phone. I'm just hoping it doesn't glare off. So when I take this photo, there we go. So we can actually zoom in a little bit more there so you can see his face sticking through underneath. So it is possible to do and take a photograph of it. I've just got to let it set now. Do a bit of mold lining stuff. In fact, I'll post that on Discord while I'm here. So you can all see me doing it live. Isn't that wonderful? Overstating how much live is. It's really am at this point in time. Oh, I've had a... Right, that was Bill asking for doing the who do you want to call it, but I told him that any money that goes in there goes towards more models, essentially. So there we go. I've posted in work in progress a picture of Lazghul Twakka. So if anyone wants to have a better look on what you can see here, please join the Discord and you can have a better look. And ask for more pictures if you really want to. Now, as that glued itself to there, and that is really, really, really wobbly. That's going to need pinning. I've figured that much out. The squirrel time has come. The squirrel time. A squirrel come in? No, McTee's come in, not squirrel. They're two different people. Good evening, Mick. I'm making a giant arc with two fuck off hammers. See. Oh, the cat's turned into giant squirrel. Right. No, there is somebody who might pop in who's called Hey Look a Squirrel. So, Hey Look a Squirrel, so. Yeah, that just confused me. See, you ain't no nut sniffer. So now I need to worry about painting this fucker, don't I? Well, half of it's painted, some of it's already got. I mean, the orc face is technically done. So yeah. How are we gonna make it look less imperially? I know I've added stuff to it to make it look a little less imperial. Puff, puff, pass, man. I was on gummies last night. It was better. I didn't have any, so I was just on gummies. It's odd the fact that I can get hold of the damn things in the first place. I shouldn't be able to get hold of them, but I can. Alright, now I should have a couple more shoulder pads to try and just help out a little bit. So yeah, that little yellow one, I'm going to pop round one of them pistons, and this grey one is going to go round his imperial wrist. I'm trying as much as I can to get to not it being as imperially. You got about 30. I got given, I think it was 3. So I just ate them. Like you do. None of this, ooh, how many should I have? All. The answer's all. What? I wanted to kind of have one. No. There we go, just a couple of little extra plating pieces. I know it doesn't seem like much, but once you start putting enough on there, it mounts up. I'm just seeing if there's any other little bits that I could possibly get into it just to help help out with the not imperialiness. Now we go to the dreaded area. Whenever I pull these out, Sparkles has worried faces. Just slide you out of the way a minute there, Lazghul. I wouldn't pass a Curaleaf test. I looked into that. I did look into that. But I would not pass a Curaleaf test. So that's definitely not going to make it look less imperial, is it? It's a big friggin' imperial gun. But if he is supposed to be Lazghul Twakka, he is supposed to have a gun, so... I suppose if I can hobble together something that can look like a big shoulder-mounted cannon, that might work. So, no, that's a big shooter. I need that. That's from an old Death Dread. Scratch built by somebody else. Got broken by accident. Not happy about it, but not very bloody much I can do right now, is there? But yeah, I'm looking in this for parts, bits, stuff that I might be able to use. It's where all the other art bits came from, but I kind of used up a lot of them to get the bits that I've got. Most of the other bits I'm going to need, either to make the orcs themselves or to fix others. Come on, I can do with a few more big gun bits. Ooh, my old Big Mac. Don't know where his shock attack gun is. Could be bloody anywhere. I'm looking for some, hopefully some old looter guns that have come off. Oh, bits like that. Bits like that are good. See, is there any way I can strap that into that? I can glue that into there. If I could, then that'd be nice. Or could I glue that over there? Let's see, can we get that to fit on there somehow? Maybe if I was to take the straps off, that might help, yeah? There is Twisted, that is a barrel. This is my orcs. This is my orc collection. Not all of it, I do have others somewhere. Like, I've got my Boomdacker Snazwagon and my Shock Jump Drags that my Stomper all up there. But these are all my infantry orcs, so looters, knobs, boys. I think both my war bosses are out. And both my war bosses are on my desk. But yeah, lots of boys, lots of knobs. And just with choppers and pistols. And I did have about 100 boys at one point. But due to wards kicking off in the box, I don't have that many anymore. So let's get this Arky tank over the back of this. Then that should make it look a bit more like an Arky gun. Suppy B. Because Lazghul does have a gun, technically, so I do need to give him a ranged weapon. Where I'm going to mount it on him, I have not got a fucking clue. But I'll find somewhere. I'll find somewhere to mount it on him. Hey, there's another knob. And I'm not swearing, that's what he's called. He's short for noble in ARC terms. So YouTube, go and fuck yourself, I weren't swearing. Then I was, but I wasn't a minute ago. Right. So I think I've got a nice little gun for him now. I see there's an ammo squig. An ammo run on the back. That could be Macari. Or I could just use a targeting squid. Is that going to come off easily? No, right, he can stay on there then. I'm not going to start ripping little bits off. He says after pulling the damn thing apart in the first place. And that's why I'm not pulling more little things off, because after ripping it apart, I found out it doesn't necessarily go back together too well. Good night, Ali. Yeah, man. You should have. That. There's lots of people who will watch the TT and watch enthusiasts watch the TT as well. They're almost as bad as 40k players. They're like, yeah, you like our stuff? You're one of us now. Don't you dare try and get away. It's like Warhammer. Warhammer's like that. Okay, so now we have his big Daka cannon mounted onto his shoulder. We have his boss poles. We have his hammers. We have pretty much everything else in there except for the fact that I've just knocked the pipe off. Good night, Graham. Nice, and you managed to get the full thing. Because I love Floyd. Which was the point I was supposed to be looking for something else after this, weren't I? I was supposed to be looking for... I wanted something groovy. And you don't get much more groovy than these. I've been going over an hour. If this is not my stream, it's worth it just to get this song on. Which one's the good version? No, they have not got the good version. Okay, I thought they would have had it. Let's just do that. Come on. Come on. There it is. No, that's a fucking advert. That's an advert. That's not what I clicked on. And it's going to make me watch a full 20-second... Do you want to know something? You're getting muted. You can fuck off. I'm not listening to your 20-second advert. You can do when you're dirty little shit. Ooh, Deathmatch. Oh, I've not got anything that good. I want a Deathmatch magnifier. All I've got is my bubbles goggles. Don't get me wrong, they work. They work fine. But extra magnification is always needed. Always needed. Yeah, damn ads. Especially over this song. Because this song does not require an advert to go over it. Because this song is da shit. It's not shit, it is the shit. I like my grooves. I like my beats. I like these boys from the streets of Brooklyn. And if that doesn't tell you who it is, then I don't know what else there is for you. There's no help for you. There are 3 MCs and 1 DJ coming at you with no delay. I just glued my thumb to the desk. See this one here? This one's not moving. The rest of the hand is. This one's not. This will get me strikes. Nobody can do it like my faster. He is. He prays to the Messiah. He knows exactly what to do. I mean, that man has got skill on those decks. That man has got skill on those decks. It's an instrument I've never been able to get to grips with, and yes, it's an instrument for all you fucking self-righteous, stuck with your own ass knobheads. That's an instrument he's playing. You know, he's going da-da-da and doing da-da-da-da. It's an instrument. So, here we go. Final run through. We have the extended hammer with the chain going into the wrist. We have the great big whopping cannon on his shoulder there, as well as the additional shoulder pads. Some nice archy pieces within the chest to give him lights and to see where he's aiming. Additional brass panels from where damage has been done and that mech has had to repair, as well as some extra shouldery bits. 2 very nice beast poles, and this section around his head, which is pretty much all come from the Hellbreak box.
Now it's even easier to sell for
oh no, no,
Maybe I should sell that juicer we've used.
Maybe you should fuck off my YouTube feed. How about that, eh? How about that? That's better. They've gone from my music feed now. Let's go for a bit of the referee's alphabet. It is just the way he just... I'm not sure how he does it, whether he hits the fader at the same time.
The A is for my authority, which many players seem to question, thinking they're somehow going to make me change my mind. B is for babies, which a lot of managers cry like after a decision has not gone their way. C is for the continual criticism I receive from the touchline. Get back in your technical area. D is for the dunderheads who seem to think we have a conspiracy against their particular team. E is for the eerie silence which echoes around the ground when I've booked a home team's player and it's obvious to everyone that he deserved it. F is the farce into which most games would descend if we weren't there. The G is for the gnarled face of someone who's on £90,000 a week and reckoned he should have had a throw-in. H is for handball, which has to be intentional, and very rarely is. If only people would study the rules more. I is for innocence, pleaded by many a doe-eyed defender after they've just scythed down that tricky winger. J is for jiu-jitsu, which I quite intend to display given a dark alley and some of the narky blurts I've encountered. The K is for the kissing of the badge. How ridiculous that looks 6 months later when they're at another club. L is for lip reading, of which you don't have to be an expert to see how odious some people are. M is for the mistakes we sometimes make. Surely a bit of controversy is part of the game's appeal. The N is for the numbskull who during the Boxing Day game asks me what else I got for Christmas besides my whistle. An afternoon with your wife, mate.
Best line in it.
The O is for offside, which many forwards tell me they simply could not have been. The P is for the penalty shootouts. Great drama and no pressure on me. The Q is the quiet word which I sometimes need to have with some of the more fiery participants. I usually choose the word pleat.
Nice word.
R is for running backwards. A difficult skill which the pundits never seem to appreciate. S is for the suggestion that I should have shown a card of some sort to a player who's just been awarded a free kick. Sorry, I got all that wrong. The S again. Okay, the S. The S is the suggestion that I should show a card to an opponent by a player who has been awarded a free kick. He himself is more in danger of getting one for that. T is for the 21-man brawl, which is basically an embarrassing scene of pushing and shoving. U is for the umpire, which I sometimes wish I'd been instead. You never hear a cricket crowd chanting, "Who's the bastard in the hat?"
No, you don't.
The V is for vitriol, vilification, vendetta, and volley of verbal abuse. Some good bird noises there, boy. W is for Walter Pigeon, who's Mr. Griffiths in How Green Was My Valley I may have started to sound like during this song. Where was the light I thought to see in your eye? He says that to a young Hugh played by Roddy McDowell.
What?
The X. The X represents the sarcastic kiss planted on my forehead by a swarthy Portuguese centre-half whom I just dismissed. The Y is for Yate, the kind of town that referees come from. And the Z.
There you go.
Well, the Z could be for Zidane, Zico, Zola, Zubi Zareta, Zoff, even Zondervan. But is in fact for the zest with which we approach our work. Without this zest for the game, we wouldn't become refs, and without refs, well, zero. See also Zatopek, Zeus, and Zeal Monacorum. Have a caravan there. Static.
It'd be fun if they gave the ref a gun. So I like that song, and it was in the list, so I thought, why not? For people who don't know who that is, that was Half Man, Half Biscuit, and the song was Referee's Alphabet. I might as well stick with Half Man, Half Biscuit while I finish up. This is going to be the last one. This is going to be what I've finished for tonight, so it is going over just making sure I've got everything in place. Nothing's falling off, apart from the stuff that's not glued properly. In this case, like the gun here. Yeah, that's glued in right. That needs to set. That needs to set. That's set. Shoulders are done. Shoulder pad. Arms now in properly. So I need to figure out how I'm going to base this now. But I've got to paint it first. There are some pieces that I'm thinking of what to cover. We've got some wording over his knees, and I've covered the other one on his leg down there, but it's still words here. A man with a mullet going mad in... A man with a mullet going mad with a mallet in millets. The fuck? What? I'm sorry, I'm listening to the lyrics, so... Must be national. Yeah, I definitely went with the right head. That would have been too small and got lost. So, there we have it, people. For today, we have done a lot of work on Lazghul Twakka. Now that's actually a lot more work than I thought I was going to get done today. I was thinking I might only get a little bit round his face, maybe get him attached to the legs. But little bits. I do want him to be more sleek than Gazgul, but definitely he's been cyborged up. Thank you very much, Twisted. So just under 3 minutes. Part of me wants to put a Gretchen on him somewhere. He just doesn't seem right being that big without a Gretchen. I mean, bear in mind, that's him compared to a Hellbrute. So he is considerably... He does need some grots, doesn't he, Francois? He needs something on him just to... Yeah. It doesn't look right, does he? He needs something else, even if it's on the base around him. He needs at least one little grot or a snotling or something little for him to squish when he gets angry. Do I have any? I should have a Gretchen in here somewhere. It's just they're not bloody small. I can't find them. I mean, there's an ammo one, but he's attached to a mech. Now, I did see an ammo run round here, in here somewhere earlier. Even if I just have him jogging across the front, that'll do for now. I can add more before I base him. Or before I spray him, sorry. Cue drum roll, it's National Shark Day. Half Man, Half Biscuit are one of them bands that could have made it, but never went serious enough to actually become big. They always preferred to stay niche. Fantastic band from the world, though. And yes, that does pain me a little bit to say, but it pains me every time I have to admit that the Beatles are good as well. And they are. I can't deny it, no matter how much I would like to. The Beatles are pretty damn good. Oh no, there was a big cannon I could have put on him. Never mind. Well, there's got to be a Gretchen in here somewhere. I know I have Gretchen. I know I have Metal Gretchen. But I know I should also have a plastic little ammo run somewhere. I should have 3, but one will do. If I can find one. See, that'll pretty much be taking that one off. Because that is in a backpack. He's got ammo. But if I take him off there, which came off way easier than I was expecting. So that'll give me one though. But I want one in front of him. As well as, yeah. So if I can pop him on back there. Yeah, if I can get him back there, just as a little cheeky Easter egg one. And a little backpack, that should be okay. Oops. So yeah, get him in a little backpack. I mean, I do have a couple of boss poles in the back of him. I've just got to make it bigger. Which means finding bits. That's going to be more raiding the Space Marine section. And maybe putting a piece, one of them, that piece of mesh in between. And then on that mesh I can glue skulls and Chaos skulls, Art skulls, Space Marine skulls. If I've got any Necron skulls. Essentially anything he's managed to get his hands on. But where on earth is this Gretchen? Right, I'm going to start taking things out. That's a targeting squig. That's no good. There he is. I knew I had an ammo run. Well, some kind of little something somewhere. I knew I had one. That's the metal one though. Where's the plastic one? Because he's supposed to go with him. I know that much. Haha! And there's my ammo run. Right, so now I've got 3 now. I've got 3. And I can work on a boss pole separately. Because there's a few things that I want to throw on a boss pole. But that's not a bad start to it. That's not a bad start to a boss pole. Well, so much for 3 minutes, eh? Where's my shit ones? Well, I don't mean my shit ones. I mean, where's the ones that are actually going to clump through metal? Ba-ding! There it goes. Because, of course, these guys aren't going to want to get in his way, so... I'm going to find somewhere they're kind of out of the way a little bit. I think mine's a booster blaster. The custom booster blaster's the one with... What's the one with the big cannon on it? On top. Is it the booster blaster that has a rivet cannon? I have to go fucking get it out, otherwise I'm never going to find out. Let me just glue this Gretchen in there. And then this one on his back. Because that one, look down there, can kind of act as Makari. But these two, which are quite blatantly ammo runts. And 25mm base now. I can have him back here over on this side of the base. Just poking out behind his foot. How have you dried already? I'm going to have to do the dangerous thing, people. The dangerous thing. Right, so, right, yeah. I do have a custom booster blaster and a shock jump dragster. I will be getting, I think it's a Rucker Truck Squig Buggy eventually. Through the Combat Patrol magazine. I can't remember. If it's not, then that's the custom booster blaster, and I've got something else entirely. But I'm going to have to find my lighter first. And that is how we clear the nozzle. See? You heat it up and it doesn't, and it's not clogged anymore. You just have to be careful of the vapours as they're coming out. Because the glue is hot at this point now. So there we go. See, I was in agreement with you both. It did need. So we've got a little ammo run down there. We have a med one here, and we have a little backpack one up here. Adding skis. Believe it or not, Graham does some nice skidoo things with ski fronts for the space bears. That could work. So now we have, I believe, quite an orky looking proxy for my Lazghul now, with extra little bits around his base, extra little bits on his back. Helps with a zoom in, really, doesn't it? As you can see there now, yeah. Little Gretchen down there. Little one there holding stuff. So there are things hiding down around his base, and if you can just about make him out, there is another little tiny one there behind his shoulder, holding a little piece of ammo, sat in his backpack, just holding on for dear life. Behind that, just at the back of this big monstrosity. I want to put this piece on him as well, because that's a nice piece, that. So I want this bit to go on him as well. Because you never know when you're going to need an extra chopper or an extra slugger. And in this case, a targeting squig. Or an edible squig. It could be either. It might be just a snack. If it weren't for the fact that I've just glued it to my fucking fingers again. If I have you on there, then I can move. This one shouldn't be glued in. So I can shift that over one, or just get rid of it completely. Oh, what the Christ almighty is going on there? Give it a good tonguing. That was probably the most disgusting thing some of you have ever going to see. And you're thinking, please don't ever do that again. I don't want that picture in my mind ever. I'll try not to do it too often. But to say I'm never going to do it again is going to be a bit far-fetched, because usually that is quite an effective method to get this shit to stick. And I don't know why, but it's not working on this piece. I mean, it's gluing my fingers together more than anything else. I just want to get it to hold there, and then I can have a targeting squig with an extra shooter and a chopper and some stick bombs. You know, just general stuff that a war boss shouldn't really be without. You know, backups. Fuck me, this is not for sticking. Right, where's the contact point? There's one there, and there's one there. This is where stuff like activator and shit comes in. It really helps. There we go. I know I'm just slowly adding more and more little bits to it. But it's those little bits that'll make the world of difference. Compared to oh yeah, I can see you've tried there, and oh, actually that's a little bit more interesting. So having a grot and a squig on his back, and then two little grots around his feet. That's his idea. So, there we go. Yeah, I've got a feeling now I'm going to have to try and move. I did glue that piece in. Ah, crap. I just know I've knocked him over, but I don't think I glued this piece in. it might have just been a really fucking snug fit. Okay. Now I'm gonna have to let him dry for tonight because there's lots of stuff that's ready for coming off, including the gun on his shoulder and stuff that's just not happy where it is. It is not happy where it is. He is gonna do some crumping, innit? He is gonna do some crumping. If I actually get my orcs together, they're in the shambles at the moment. They're in an absolute shambles. I'll probably sort them out once I start getting combat patrol issues through with orcs in, just so I can use the pieces up and make sure I get everything that I need from it. So shooters, choppers, big choppers, power claws. I think I should still have in the region of about 15 to 20 knobs, so I should be alright. And hopefully about 40 boys. Fingers crossed. 6 bikes, about 6 copters, Death Dread, this big fucker, 2 war bosses, a war boss in mega armor. Yeah, I should have enough to do a 2,000 point army, I hope. That should work. Let's zoom back out again, so you can see the mess that I've left on my desk. So just to give it the size comparison again, he's not as big as Lavarus, but Lazghul Twakka is certainly getting on the large side. I'll try and take some better pictures once I can use this as a camera, and then I'll upload them that way. But that is it for this evening. I have finished converting Lazghul into something more orky than what he was, because he was pretty much just a Nemesis Dread Knight with not even a person in it. It was just armor, which is not great. I've realised what fell off earlier. It was Steve. See, there he goes, bouncing across the desk again. I mean, he's survived, he has. He's bounced across his desk so many times. He goes back on there. There we go. So, that will bring me to the end of this evening's stream. Thank you, everybody who's coming to see me. I've managed to maintain an average of 6 viewers, which I'm not sure how. But, hey, all of you, thank you for joining me. Thank you for coming to watching. I at least know 4 of you, I think. 5, Mick, Sparkles, Twisted, Francois, and Buzzard. They're the 5 that I know of. The 6th could be anybody. It could be anybody. But even the person number 6, thank you. Even if you're being quiet and just listening, just as Beaky was, just as most people are in here. Thank you for coming to spend your time with me. I will be back on... When am I back? I've forgotten. Back on Wednesday, because Wednesday we get our Wraith Guard. Yeah, Wraith Guard, which they're going to build. They're going to tell us to build it with guns, and I'm going to build it with axes and shields. And if you've not figured out yet, I always build it my way, not their way. So yeah, I will see you on Wednesday to put together some more Eldar. So this week is the Wraith Guard. Next week is the Chaos Terminators. Ooh. And then I believe we start in on the Orcs and the Leagues of Photon. That'll be awesome. So I will see you on Wednesday. Thank you very much for joining me, and drive safe, everyone. See you later. So long. Now, I've got to get used to this now, because I don't even know where the end stream button is. Yeah, drive safe. See you.